first station, Jesus condemned to death.
We found this man subverting our nation.
He opposes the payment of taxes to Caesar.
He calls himself the Messiah, the King.
Are you the King of the Jews?
Are you saying this on your own, or have others been telling you about me?
I am no Jew. It is your own people and the chief priests who have handed you over to me. What have you done?
My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my subjects would be fighting to save me from being handed over to the Jews. As it is, my kingdom is not here.
So then you are a king?
It is you who say I am a king. The reason I was born, the reason why I came into this world, is to testify to the truth. Anyone who is committed to the truth hears my voice.
Truth? What is truth? I find no case against this man. Recall your custom where I release someone to you at Passover time. Do you want me to release Barabbas or the King of the Jews?
We want Barabbas!
Pilate took Jesus and had him scourged. The soldier wove a crown of thorns and fixed it on his head, throwing around his shoulders a cloak of royal purple. Oh, sacred head around it, like crown of piercing thorns. Oh, bleeding head so wounded, reviled and put to scorn. No comeliness or beauty thy wounded face betrays. Yet angels adore thee and tremble as they gaze. When Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple cloak, Pilate said to them,
Behold the man.
Away with him!
We want Barabbas!
Then what am I to do with Jesus, the so-called Messiah?
Crucify him!
Why? What crime has he committed?
Crucify him!
If you free this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who makes himself a king becomes Caesar's rival.
Pilate heard what they were saying. He said to the Jews,
Behold your king.
Away with him! Away with him! Crucify him!
What, shall I crucify your king?
We have no king but Caesar.
Pilate realized that he was making no impression and that a riot was breaking out instead. He called for water and washed his hands in front of the crowd, declaring as he did so,
I am innocent of the blood of this just man. The responsibility is yours.
Let his blood be on us and on our children.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The second station, Jesus receives his cross. It was customary for condemned criminals to carry their own cross to the place of execution, and so it was that a heavy cross was placed upon his shoulders, and he began his journey to Calvary. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The third station. Jesus falls the first time. Weighed down by the weight of the cross, his body wrapped with pain. Jesus stumbles and falls to the ground.
Get up!
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The fourth station. Jesus meets his mother. As the soldiers jerk him to his feet, he sees his mother close by watching from the crowd. Their eyes meet, and we see in that glance a love beyond words. Mary's compassion for her son is so deep that she truly does share his agony, freely offering her son to death so that he might accomplish his Father's will. Christ, we praise you. The fifth station. Simon helps Jesus. As the soldiers led Jesus away, they laid hold of Simon, a man of Cyrene, who was coming in from the field.
You there, carry the cross.
They put the cross on Simon's shoulder for him to carry, along behind Jesus, because they feared that Jesus would die before he could be crucified. We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The sixth station. Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. There was a woman named Veronica who was present in the crowd. Her heart was moved with pity for the sufferings of Jesus. And so she removed her veil and used it to wipe the sweat and blood from his face. When she had finished, she discovered that an image of Jesus' face had appeared upon the veil. We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The seventh station. Jesus falls the second time. Even with the help of Simon, Jesus was weak from exhaustion and loss of blood. He fell to the ground a second time.
Get up!
We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The eighth station. Jesus speaks to the women of Jerusalem. The soldiers again drag him to his feet and force him to continue on his way to Calvary. A great crowd of people were following him. Many were simply curious, and some were openly hostile. But there were women there who cried out in sorrow and lamented over him.
Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. The days are coming when they will say, happy are those who are sterile. Blessed are the women who are barren and have never nursed children. Then they will say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. If I say these things now when it is easy to believe, what will happen later when the shepherd has been taken away?
We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The ninth station. Jesus falls the third time. Almost at the end of his journey and within sight of Calvary, Jesus falls the third time. Once again, the soldiers force him to continue onwards. We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. Jesus is stripped of his garment. At last they reached the hill of Calvary. The soldiers took the cross from Simon and placed it on the ground. They then stripped him of his clothing, and taking his garments, divided them among themselves. There was also his tunic, but this was woven in one piece from top to bottom, and had no seam.
Don't tear it. Let's throw a dice to see who gets it.
We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The 11th station. Jesus is nailed to the cross. They crucified him there, nailing his hands and feet to the cross. Two criminals were crucified with him, one on his right and the other on his left. Pilate had an inscription placed on the cross, which read, Jesus the Nazarene, the King of the Jews. This inscription in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek was read by many of the Jews. Since the place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, the chief priests of the Jews tried to tell Pilate,
You should not have written the King of the Jews. You should have written instead, this man claimed to be the King of the Jews.
to which Pilate replied,
What I have written, I have written.
We adore you, Christ, and we praise you. The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross.
So you are the one who is going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days.
Save yourself. Why don't you? Come down from that cross if you are God's son.
He saved others, but he cannot save himself. So he is the King of Israel? Let's see him come down from that cross, and then we'll believe him. He relied on God. Let God rescue him. After all, he claimed, I am God's son.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Seeing his mother there with the disciple whom he loved, Jesus said to his mother,
Woman, there is your son.
In turn he said to the disciple,
Behold your mother. I thirst.
There was a jar there full of common wine. They stuck a sponge soaked in this wine on a reed and raised it to his lips.
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. It is finished.
Since it was preparation day, the Jews asked Pilate that the legs be broken and the body be taken away. Accordingly, the soldiers came and broke the legs of the men crucified with Jesus, first of the one, then of the other. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs, One of the soldiers thrust two hands into his side, and immediately blood and water flowed out.
Clearly, this man was the Son of God.
As it grew dark on Preparation Day, that is, the eve of the Sabbath, Joseph and Mary arrived. Joseph was a distinguished member of the Sanhedrin and a secret follower of Christ. He was bold enough to seek an audience with Pilate and urgently requested the body of Jesus. Pilate granted his request, and Jesus' body was taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the sepulchre. Then, having bought the linen shrub, Joseph took him and wrapped him in the linen, and laid him in a tomb which had been cut out of rock. Finally, he rolled a stone across the entrance of the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.